I've been investigating the morning routines of high achievers, and I found a disturbing pattern. The crime, you see, isn't what they do at 6 a.m. It's the forensic evidence they leave behind at 10 p.m. As a high-performance investigator, I've noticed we've been looking at the wrong evidence. We blame the snooze button, the lack of willpower, or, well, the fact that we didn't start the day with a 5-minute cold plunge. But I'm going to show you how your morning is actually sabotaged before your eyes even close. Thoughtful, scanning the room. I've spent years analyzing why some professionals wake up with instant clarity, while the rest of us feel like we're solving a cold case just to find our keys. The truth is, your brain doesn't just turn off when you hit the pillow. It spends the night processing the mental debris you left on your desk and in your head, right? Intense, focused. In this investigation, I'm peeling back the curtain on why your current evening habits are actually draining your willpower battery before you even wake up. It's an efficiency leak. It's practically a crime scene. I'll reveal the exact 10-minute forensic protocol that I use to stop my brain from leaking energy overnight. Confident, reassuring. By the time we're finished, you'll have a precise blueprint to reset your environment and your mindset, ensuring you wake up into a morning that's already been solved for you. Let's look at the evidence. Let's walk through the crime scene of a typical Tuesday morning, shall we? Observant. You wake up, and within seconds, you feel that familiar weight in your chest. It's not just tiredness, It's the feeling of being behind before you've even put your feet on the floor. I've spent countless hours analyzing the routines of top-tier professionals, and I found that most of us are suffering from what I call the high-performance hangover. Analytical. Think of your brain's processing power as a finite currency, your cognitive capital. When you start your morning by deciding which outfit to wear, whether you should hit the gym or stay in bed, or which urgent email to tackle first, you're literally burning through your most valuable assets. Direct. You're using your peak executive function on tasks that don't move the needle. By the time you actually sit down to do deep work, you're already cognitively bankrupt. You spent your genius on laundry and logistics. Investigative. But here's the real mystery I've been investigating. Why do you feel so drained, even if you technically got 8 hours of sleep? Calm. It's because your brain never actually got the memo that the workday ended. When you leave tasks unfinished or leave your physical environment in a state of chaos, your subconscious stays in active mode. It's like leaving 20 high-energy tabs open on your laptop and wondering why the fan is spinning all night. You aren't resting. You're just idling at high RPMs. This mental clutter creates a loop of residual stress that taints your sleep quality. Authoritative. You're processing yesterday's problems instead of preparing for tomorrow's wins. If you feel like you're running a marathon while you're under the covers, it's because your brain is trying to solve the environment you left behind. Sharp. And yet most people think the solution is just trying harder in the morning. But my analysis shows that's a losing game. The real culprit isn't your morning motivation. It's a specific psychological glitch that happens exactly 60 minutes before you close your eyes. Intrigued. And once I show you how to identify this silent thief of energy, you'll see why your current routine never stood a chance. Actually, the most dangerous part of your evening is a habit you probably think is helping you relax. Let's look at the evidence, shall we? In the 1920s, a psychologist named Zeigarnik noticed something strange while watching waiters in a busy cafe. They could remember every detail of an unpaid order with perfect accuracy. But the second the bill was settled, poof, the memory vanished. This wasn't a memory glitch, it was a survival mechanism. This is the Zeigarnik effect, and I'm here to tell you that your brain is currently treating your unfinished emails and tomorrow's to-do list exactly like those unpaid bills. When you don't intentionally offboard your day, you're leaving what I call open loops in your subconscious, Think of your mind like a high-performance laptop. If you leave 20 complex programs running in the background and then close the lid, the battery is still going to drain. Your brain hates an unfinished story. It will literally expend high-performance energy all night long trying to solve problems and categorize data while you're supposed to be resting. This is why you wake up feeling like you've already worked an 8-hour shift, right? That morning brain fog isn't a lack of coffee. It's the forensic evidence of a brain that's been running a marathon in its sleep because it didn't feel safe enough to shut down. I've analyzed the routines of top-tier professionals, and the data is clear. A truly productive morning isn't built on willpower or the perfect alarm clock. It's built on the psychological closure you provide the night before. You have to solve the case of today before you can start the investigation of tomorrow. But how do we actually close these loops without spending hours in deep meditation or writing a novel in a journal? I've narrowed it down to a specific 10-minute forensic protocol that clears the crime scene of your mind and puts those open loops to bed. However, there's one specific detail everyone misses when they try to decompress, and it's actually the reason your brain stays on high alert until 3 a.m. To solve this case and reclaim your morning, we need a precise forensic protocol. I call it the forensic reset. It's a 10-minute operation designed to clear the mental crime scene of your day so you can wake up to a clean slate. The first step is what I call the 3-minute brain dump. Think of your brain's short-term memory like RAM in a computer, right? Every open loop, that half-finished email to Sarah, the reminder to buy almond milk, the project deadline you're stressing over, is a program running in the background, actually sucking up your mental energy. As long as these loops are open, your investigative mind stays on high alert, trying to make sure you don't forget a single detail. To close the case, you have to move these files to external storage. I want you to grab a physical notepad and write down every single lingering task or thought. Once it's on paper, your brain finally receives the signal that the evidence is secure. It can stop processing because it knows the data won't be lost by morning. Next, we move to the physical trigger. In forensic science, every object has a designated place. We are going to use this to eliminate decision fatigue. Your morning self is often groggy and prone to investigative errors, so you need to set the stage tonight. I want you to choose one physical item and place it in its starting position. If your goal is to write, place your laptop on the desk with the charger plugged in. If you're heading to the gym, set your sneakers exactly where you'll step into them. By doing this, you aren't just tidying up, you're removing the friction of making a choice. You're giving your future self a clear lead to follow the moment you wake up.
The final step is the digital blackout. This is where most people compromise the investigation. Your phone is a constant stream of new clues, notifications, emails, and social media hits that keep your brain in a high dopamine, high alert state. 10 minutes before your head hits the pillow, I need you to move your phone to another room. This breaks the dopamine-seeking loop and tells your subconscious that the investigation is officially closed for the night. I've started doing this myself every evening at 10 p.m. I place my journal on my nightstand and move my phone to the kitchen. It's like setting the forensic evidence for a win tomorrow. When I walk into my office in the morning, the case is already half solved because I've prepared the environment. But even with this protocol in place, there's one hidden psychological booby trap that can sabotage your entire morning before you even open your eyes. It's a subtle habit most of us have developed over years, and it actually rewires your brain to start the day in a state of panic rather than performance. To truly master your mindset, you need to understand how to deactivate this trap before it goes off. Calm, analytical. You know that hidden booby trap I mentioned? It's what I call the reactive reset. Most of us think we're resting at night, but we're actually leaving a dozen digital and physical open files in our brain's browser. When you wake up to a sink full of dishes, a cluttered desk, or a phone vibrating with notifications you didn't silence, your brain enters a state of high alert surveillance. You aren't starting your day, you see. You're reacting to the debris of yesterday. Empathetic, insightful. By closing these loops tonight, you aren't just planning.
No, you are performing a forensic cleanup for your future self. Think of it as a tactical advantage. When I clear my workspace and set out my priorities before I hit the pillow, I'm removing the cognitive friction that usually kills momentum. You're giving yourself the gift of a cold start morning, where the path is already cleared, the evidence is organized, and the objective is certain. Engaging, leading. I've seen this shift change everything for high performers, right? It moves you from being a victim of your environment to being the lead investigator of your own life. You stop asking, what do I have to do? And start knowing, this is where I begin. Conversational. I want you to try this protocol tonight and tell me in the comments, what is the one physical item you're putting in its starting position? Intrigued. Maybe it's your gym shoes by the door, or your journal open to a fresh page. Let's see what your first move looks like. Authoritative. If you want more high-performance investigations into the psychology of success and how to master your own mental blueprint, hit subscribe to Power of Mindset. Let's keep refining the evidence. Case closed.